morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. We are at Asso Holding headquarters in Rome, together with Jim Macnamara, distinguished professor of public communication at the University of Technology, Sydney, visiting professor at the London School of Economics and Political Science, and member of the International Advisory Board of FERPI, the FERPI Lab. And Toni Falconi, past president of FERPI, founder and past chair of Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communication Management, and now chair of the International Advisory Board of FERPI. Today we are going to talk about artificial intelligence, public relations, and the intersection with communication, emotion, and other topics that are debated in those days. So I pass the ball to Toni to give his point of view about artificial intelligence and public relations.
Thank you, Biagio, and welcome to Rome, Jim. The topic I would like to start with this conversation is that of speed. In other words, we are in a situation today in which speed has completely overdone whatever we're doing in communication and public relations. And the speed with which we do it is much too fast, according to my opinion. Of course, other people don't agree, but maybe you don't agree yourself. But I think that we need, as communicators, as public relators, we need to think before we do, and that is always the case, even when when they were slow. But that didn't happen often at that time. And now I think we need to slow down because the things are overtaking, and the concepts are beyond our capacity of coping with them, and the natural issues with which we have to do on a common basis are much, much too quick for us to understand. So what do you think about this?
I think you raised some very good points, Toni. Like many complex issues in life, I think the answer is yes and no. Is technology and speed of communications going to slow down in our world? No. It's probably going to speed up further. I come from Australia, and it wasn't that long ago that to travel from Australia to here in Rome would have taken 8-10 weeks on a ship. I come across in less than 25 hours. And they tell me there'll be planes that'll bring me across in 10 hours at supersonic speeds within a few years. Telecommunications, those things will speed up. Where, Toni, I think you raise a really good point, is that we do have to have time for thinking and reflection. I do work with military and police commanders who deal with counterterrorism, deal with incidents, and they're in a situation where they have to make decisions in seconds. And one of the techniques they do, though, is they make decisions, but they also take time out. They put their hand up and say stop, and even find a quiet space and take time to think. And so I think as communication practitioners, we've got to adapt to and work with the speed of telecommunications, the speed of information around the world. But in our practice, I think we can, the way we manage ourselves as humans, we need to take time out for two reasons. And it may be 5 minutes, it may be an hour, it may be just reflecting at times. And I think we need to do it for two reasons. We need to do it to have good reflection and thinking, strategic thinking. We need to do it for mental health as well. If we continually operate in a high-pressure environment, we become tired, we become stressed, and we make worse decisions. And so there is an argument worldwide at the moment, particularly coming out of COVID, that mental health is an issue, and that the way to deal with that is I think we have to operate at 100 miles an hour most of the time, but then you take moments out. And whether it's an hour, whether it's a few days, taking time out to reflect and think. So I think the answer is yes and no. A lot of things are not going to slow down, but there are times that we have to, and if you think of thinking fast, thinking slow, I think we need to do both.
Thank you, Jim.